Much like the personal development of the practice of other techniques, especially various articulations, a performer should start by slowly exploring repeated single pitches on one note. Focus on the position of the tongue, how it interacts with the aperture of the neckpiece, and discover the dynamic limits of that particular pitch. Personally, I would start on the lowest pitch of the saxophone. Here, the resultant sound is quite present. Since I'm using an alto saxophone, I will begin on the low B flat. Play 4 tongue rams at a slow yet consistent tempo on this note with a mezzo forte dynamic. Focus on how your tongue feels entering the aperture of the neckpiece and notice how much of that air pitch is needed to propel the tongue forward. As a practice tip, keep the tongue tight and pointed for better entry into the aperture, resulting in an overall improved tone quality of the tongue ram. Here, I will model this low B flat for you. After exploring the low B flat, I would recommend working up step by step chromatically through the saxophone, noting the weaker dynamic sound result as you move to higher tessituras. When reaching the higher tessitura, using the palm keys, spend extra time refining the balance between the dynamic of the tongue ram and the accompanying air pitch sound. In this demonstration, I will model the palm key D. Once you have a functional understanding of how the tongue works and the balance between ramming and air pitch sounds, try the same exercise in different dynamic ranges. After gaining a thorough understanding of how the tongue functions with this articulation, I encourage you to try speeding up the movement of the tongue. Stay on the same pitch, and this time start with standard articulation exercises to build speed. Utilize a metronome set to 40 beats per minute and articulate first in quarter notes, then eighth notes, followed by triplets, and finally sixteenths. Taking a slow pedagogical progression, add 2 clicks per minute and increase the metronome to 42 beats per minute. Continue this process until you encounter difficulty. Reduce the metronome to a tempo marking lower and practice until the tongue movement becomes faster. Gradually increase the metronome speed as your comfort level grows. Then, I recommend practicing with full range scales. Begin with B flat major as an example, starting from the lowest pitch of the saxophone. Start at a slow pace and gradually increase the speed. To demonstrate, I will use a metronome set at 40 beats per minute, beginning with eighth notes. Practice this approach with all scales, gradually working up the tempo.